Hello. So I have done a bit more practice and a little bit of trying to draw the characters for the practice game, and I decided to stop with just a little bit to not frustrate myself. Oh, there's yesterday's one, and this is basically what I've got, and I'm not really sure still, but I'm definitely not as upset about it before, and I'm not pushing myself too hard about it. I'm still going to try and get it in more, but it is going to take a while. And sorry about the background noise. I did not expect people to return so soon. So hopefully you can be fine with this. Sorry, I don't really have the time for another re-recording, and I'm decided to change up today's video to talk just only really about my practice game. Not practice game, but my passion project, where I drew a bit of concepts for the gameplay, and I've showed it in a previous video. And then I got the idea, not idea, but the designs a bit down, where I kept the designs I kept in my head and from what I drew in high school down on this paper so I could remember it more. And I took notes because I really love taking notes on so many different things. I'm going to probably do another video with the art notebook to show how much I wrote down on it and to really try and understand more of it as I read it out loud next time. But for some big changes with the what I've written so far with this was just the main two characters being this cat, which I still don't know what's the name. These are not the official names yet. I'm still thinking of a name for it and whether or not this cat should even have a name. And this mirror, who I have not given a name of at all. And they're supposed to be your partner character, sort of like Navi uh from Ocarina of Time or Isun from Okami. And basically, you play as this cat that's trying to find its owner, and it finds a mirror, which is stuck to this collar, which you'll see in this there. Literally tied to a collar. There you go. And for the gameplay, I originally had this as an RPG, but I could never come up with an idea for how the cat could even work. Like, you can make it work, it's just that I'm really bad at it, and the more I thought about it, the more I realized that I'm not really that much of a fan of making an RPG compared to playing it. Or maybe I grew out of RPGs or I'm too casual for RPGs. But the more I thought about the gameplay for the game, when I imagined it as like constantly running to one direction and platforming, that's when I really got an idea and fell in love with the design and idea of what to make of the game. And so now it's a runner. And I already mentioned before about it being kind of a mix of platforming and a Metroidvania with runner style. And that there's two different places you kind of go between. Being like here, like Earth, and another one where the mirror is basically your transport. And where the mirror brings you, that is not Earth, is basically where the Metroidvania sort of platforming stuff comes in. I have not designed a single level yet, especially in terms of like on paper, and I've only been brainstorming it, so I need to get that down, and I have to try and get that on the on paper, so I can actually not really stop. So I can actually stop constantly getting confused over how to design it. It's just going to be really fun. Oh, oops. And then we get to the mirror, where I had basically just the idea to make it the villain of the game for so long, until I think last year, where I finally thought, well, this might actually not be the best idea, or maybe it's not really working well. And so I kind of just stopped the mirror from being your antagonist, especially with the fact that it's uh, attached to you, the player, the whole time. And it's not going to be as fun of a character, I think, as like Wheatley or GLaDOS, or just cool as those ones too. But I've kept some things intact about him, where um it brings the cat over to different places, and it's stuck to the collar and wants out of the collar. That's basically it. I changed his character a lot, or its character a lot. I'm not really sure about it. Where while the mirror was originally antagonistic, it also pretty much knew everything about itself and was really petty. But now I've made the mirror have no idea what it is about, and it wants to learn about what life it was or is, and how to get back to that sort of place. So I feel like that's very cool. And of course, the original mirror was also very condescending and very petty. I think I'm going to keep some of those aspects, also not like hammering down on them, but like kind of putting them to the side and making it how the mirror kind of acts. Since the mirror can only really talk to the cat, since no one else can see the mirror. And I find it really cool and also really interesting, where I needed to I mean, I needed to, but okay, I'm getting way too excited talking about this. But one thing that I really do like is that uh I one of the biggest problem is that I solved one of the biggest problems with this game, which is, why should the character be a cat? Why is it just this random cat, and isn't it a bit too goofy? And then I went through so many different changes, and now the mirror is basically the biggest reason as to why I think the cat will matter now. Because outside of giving the cat its own story, which I kind of forced, and I'm still going to keep the kind of forced thing to give the player and the cat some drive, I guess. The story, I think, is going to be more about the mirror, and the cat is basically what the mirror will need in order to really progress through the game, which I really find cool. Uh, I think that'll be about it for now, and I hope that you enjoy the holiday season, because we have 3 days left until Christmas. Yay.